Now, Steve Hilton, host of The Next Revolution here on Fox News, and Dr. Carol Swain, former professor of political science and law at Vanderbilt University. Carol, let me start with you. You say that, that the conversation always goes immediately to gun control and mental health. What do you think about what Ben just had to say in the framework of your thinking on this?
I agree with him 100%. I believe that we need to focus on character building of young people. Young people need to know the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And I think too much of what they're learning today in school is about how to be offended. Too much political correctness. Young people are not being taught how to think critically, and they're so easily offended. And all of this stuff about bullying, most of us who have gone to school were teased at some point. We learn to get by. And I think that today we teach our children to look for ways to be offended, and the adults are not providing the moral guidance that they need.
I hear you.
And
I do.
Yes.
I just think of the kids who voices were very clear and the concern that they had about this young man. And I just can't imagine the frustration that they have. We also have to listen to children when they come to us with these kind of concerns, because they did know, some of them, and they carry that burden with them now. Steve Hilton, you have said that, growing up in England, you looked at what this problem was in the United States, because it is unique, unfortunately, to the U.S., and you see it differently now that you're here.
Yeah, Martha, I think that actually this is the biggest issue that we have to confront in America. Tonight we're talking about it in the terrible circumstances of the Parkland shooting, but another night we could be talking about it in relation to gang violence, and another night it could be domestic violence, and another night it could be drug addiction or welfare dependency. It all goes back to the same thing, which is a social breakdown that's been going on in America, I think, for at least 4, maybe 5 decades now. And at the heart of it is family breakdown, the real trend away from children growing up in stable, loving homes, and the fact that more and more children are growing up in broken homes and in a culture of toxic stress and violence. And that is affecting our society in deeply troubling ways. And it really is something that we can confront, but we've got to really prioritize it as an issue.
Yeah, it's so important. And, you look at Chicago, Dr. Carol Swain, and the numbers of children who are killed all of the time there, and in other places where these kinds of violent outbreaks happen little bits at a time, but the numbers add up to an extraordinary number. And family breakdown is a big part of that environment, is it not?
It is, and you can trace the dysfunction back to the 1960s. In 1962, the Supreme Court removed prayer from school. 1963, Bible reading. And if you look at the indicators of dysfunction, everything changed dramatically in the 1960s, and I think it can be traced back to those decisions that we've made. And I believe that the way we correct things is to start encouraging young people to value life. In the black community, there's a devaluation of life at every stage. You see it in the abortion rate. You see it in the black violent crime rate. And that's something that we need to turn around. But our entire society devalues life. They're afraid of God. And those who profess to be Christians, there's nothing about their behavior of this society that would suggest that they're truly Christians in the biblical sense.
Steve, final thought.
So there's something practical I think we need to focus on, which is so much of this comes back to the way kids are raised and the way that they are raised by their parents. We can actually help parents to do a better job. You've got generation after generation now who are growing up having experienced really bad parenting, so they don't know how to do it themselves. And we can actually give them practical help to do that. And that is one simple thing that we can do that would make a difference.
Thank you both. Very good to have both of you weigh in on all of this really important topic tonight. We hope the conversation continues from here. Steve and Dr. Carol Swain, many thanks.